I, 33F, have worked in state-level admin for over a decade. It's stable, thankless work, mostly paper pushing, digital record keeping, and dealing with outdated software that crashes if you look at it sideways. The team I'm on is small, mostly women in their 30s to 50s, and until recently, we had a great rhythm. Everyone knew their role. No surprises. Enter Rob, 28M, transferred from another state office after some restructuring. First day, he wore a black hoodie and looked like he hadn't slept in days. He barely spoke. Didn't introduce himself to most people. Ate lunch alone. Never used the break room. Never joined in birthday cakes or potlucks or Secret Santa. At first I thought he was just shy. But then came the car naps. Every day, like clockwork, Rob would vanish during lunch. We eventually figured out he was sleeping in his car. Like deep sleeping. Engine off, windows barely cracked, out cold. People knocked. Security even called it in once because they thought he might be dead. When he finally came back inside, he'd act like nothing happened. His eyes were bloodshot, he smelled like sweat, and his shirt was always wrinkled. The whispering started. People joked that he was shooting up, or hiding a girlfriend in his trunk. One person, I won't name her, but you can guess, said she saw pill bottles in his cup holder and started telling others he was abusing prescription meds. I confronted him once. Said something like, "Hey, just a heads up, some people are worried about you, maybe consider taking your nap somewhere more discreet." He didn't even look up from his desk. Just said, "Noted." No explanation. No thank you. Then something weird happened. Our manager, Carla, 41F, who's normally on top of everything, started covering for him. One time he missed a scheduled filing deadline, and she just waved it off like it was no big deal, even though I once got formally reprimanded for the same thing. I started getting suspicious. I wondered if he had something on her. Maybe they'd had a thing. Or he was related to someone higher up. And then I made a mistake. I dug. I went into the internal scheduling system and pulled the building access logs. We all have keycards, so I could see exact times he left and came back. He was routinely gone for 70 to 90 minutes during lunch. Our lunch break is 45. I printed the data. Highlighted the worst days. Took screenshots of his empty desk. I even included witness statements from 3 coworkers who felt uncomfortable walking past his car. I sent it all in a neat little email to HR. The response? A canned, "Thank you, we're looking into it." No follow-up. No changes. Until 2 weeks later. Rob didn't show up on Monday. Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday, we got the email. Effective immediately, Robert M. has resigned from his position. Please direct all inquiries to management. Cue gossip storm. People guessed rehab, jail, suicide, witness protection. But I wasn't laughing. I felt, weirdly sick. Not victorious, not satisfied. Just nauseous. Then came the bombshell. Carla pulled me into her office on Friday. Closed the door. No smile. "You filed a complaint about Rob, right?" I nodded. She opened a drawer. Pulled out a folder. Thick. Full of paper. This is his ADA documentation. He has narcolepsy. Severe. Diagnosed 4 years ago. He submitted formal paperwork before you even met him. I couldn't breathe. He didn't want to be known as the disability guy. Didn't want sympathy. He tried to handle it quietly. But your report triggered an investigation that questioned his integrity. And he decided he was done. I just sat there. Staring. Carla looked at me and said, and I'll never forget this. You were never uncomfortable. You were just annoyed that someone didn't play by your rules. I left work early that day. Didn't even clock out. I've since learned a few more things. Rob had been struggling to get his meds covered after his insurance changed. He was adjusting to a new treatment plan that messed with his energy levels. And the reason he stayed over lunch? The naps were prescribed. Not optional. I keep telling myself I didn't mean to destroy his job. That I just wanted fairness. But I can't shake the guilt. I acted like a cop instead of a coworker. My friends are split, some say I just followed protocol. Others say I let bias and paranoia drive me. So tell me. AITA. Update 1. Hey again. I wasn't planning to post an update, but I think I owe it to the people who called me out, especially the ones who told me to look inward. Because the truth is, I've seen karma before. But this time, I watched her walk in, take a seat right next to me, and whisper, "You're not the good guy in this one." Let me explain. After Rob left, the office felt different. Not chaotic. Not dramatic. Just, colder. But not for everyone, just for me. People didn't say anything outright, but they started looking past me in conversations. Looping others in on tasks I usually owned. The group birthday cards stopped showing up on my desk. I'd walk into the break room and suddenly everyone would have to get back to it. It wasn't bullying. It was something worse, subtle exclusion. I tried to pretend it didn't matter. I told myself I was being mature. Professional. But after 3 days of eating lunch alone at my desk, I realized something. I had become Rob. Worse, I had made Rob feel like this. Like a shadow of a person. Like someone who wasn't doing anything wrong but still didn't quite belong. And it gets heavier. Last Friday, Carla, my manager, pulled me aside and told me that a junior staff member had come to her, visibly upset, after I asked her to resend a report that was missing an attachment. Apparently my tone came off accusatory and she felt anxious the entire afternoon. Carla said she had to formally document it. It was the first time I'd ever been written up in over a decade of work. I wanted to defend myself. To say, I didn't mean it that way, or, she's overreacting. But that's exactly the kind of thing people probably said about me, when I felt weird around Rob. When I got uncomfortable because he didn't smile or explain himself or act like I wanted him to. The uncomfortable truth is, I wasn't being targeted now. I was finally being seen the way I had treated someone else. And it didn't feel good. I also found out from HR that Rob's departure was technically classified as a medical resignation. He submitted a formal statement, with documentation, outlining why continuing in the current environment would worsen his condition. They gave him an exit interview. They didn't give me one. He got to say his piece. I got to sit in the silence he left behind. And here's the weirdest part, no one's punishing me. Not really. But everyone is watching me. Waiting to see who I'll be now. If I'll change. If I'll leave. If I'll break. I'm not going to. But I am different now. The karma wasn't dramatic. It didn't come in swinging. It just showed up quietly, mirrored my behavior back to me, and said. Feel that? That's what you put into the world. Update 2. Rob came back. Not to my inbox. Not to my front porch. To the company. Let me explain. A few months ago, our company merged with a smaller startup. Same industry, but very different vibe, remote first, more progressive, lots of focus on accessibility and employee wellness. They were known for being people forward, whatever that meant. Everyone in our office was skeptical. We were used to cubicles and policies and HR whispering like the FBI. As part of the merger, they brought over a handful of leads to integrate the culture. New training sessions, new process docs, new internal tools. One morning we all filed into a Zoom kickoff for this shiny new platform we were supposed to adopt, and up pops a face I hadn't seen in half a year. Rob. No joke. Clean haircut. Calmer presence. Wearing glasses now. His name was in the corner. Rob M., Director of Accessibility Integration. I almost dropped my coffee. He didn't react when he saw me in the Zoom. Not a flinch. Not even a pause. He just launched into the presentation like it was any other day at the office. It was surreal. After the call, I half expected an email. A DM, something. But, nothing. Just radio silence. For 2 weeks, he and his team ran these remote training sessions, consulting with our managers, shadowing departments. I kept thinking, he's avoiding me, but also, maybe he just didn't care anymore. Maybe I was a page he'd already turned. And then, one afternoon, I found myself on a calendar invite for a cross-departmental strategy review. Small group. In person. His name was on it. I considered calling out. Faking the flu. Faking death. But I went. And there he was, seated across the table, reading notes off a tablet like I hadn't once filed the HR report that indirectly pushed him out. The weirdest part. He was good. Not in a smug way. Not in a, look what I became, way. Just, confident. Smart. Comfortable. He'd landed exactly where he needed to be, and we were the ones catching up to him. Halfway through the meeting, our new manager asked him something about his path into accessibility consulting. And Rob, without missing a beat, said, I used to work here, actually. Before I fully understood how important this work is. Sometimes you have to live through the problem to figure out how to solve it. I felt that in my teeth. No one else in the room seemed to clock it. But I did. That was his closure. That was his line in the sand. No bitterness. No call-out. Just, truth. After the meeting, as people filtered out, he stopped me in the hallway. Just the two of us. I braced myself. He said. I don't want anything from you. I just want you to know, I'm okay now. Genuinely. I nodded. Swallowed. Said. I'm really glad. He gave a small smile. Like, peaceful. And then. You should apply for the hybrid pilot program. You'd do well in it. That was it. He walked off. Like we were just coworkers again. Not a single mention of the journal. Of the past. Of any of it. And somehow, that was the most powerful thing he could have done.